Welcome to Disney Mama Docs. On today's episode, the best days and the worst days as a Mama Doc. Dinah had a very busy week this week, so I'll be flying solo and walk you through what makes for our best days and our worst days as Dr. Moms. "4:19 in the morning, and I'm heading out now. I'm gonna just head on into work to get some things done that I didn't finish up yesterday and get started on my day today. I think one of the hard things about medicine that I have difficulty balancing is, I love taking care of patients, and I can just, go all day long without a problem seeing patients. But then, of course, at the end of the day, you have your charting to do. And, it can be very time consuming. It's almost like a whole nother day's work to document what you've done throughout one day. Some days you get lucky and you get a couple minutes to get at least some of your charts done, and then some days you don't get anything done. And I get in this bad cycle of, I go home, I want to see my kids, and then by the time we kind of get everything settled for them, get their baths, get them ready for bed, I'm so tired that I can't finish anything up. So then I go to sleep for a few hours and get up 2, 3 in the morning to either work at home or go on into the office or the hospital and try to finish what I haven't done and get prepared for the next day. And it's very intense on the days that I work to get everything done that I'm supposed to do and feel like that I'm adequately seeing my family or doing things to take care of myself. And I think that's why I find it so difficult to stick to an eating plan, because it's very convenient or easier just to have some comfort food to look forward to or to eat. I'm really struggling this week. I think that maybe part of it is the time change. That makes it a little bit worse, driving in and coming home in the dark, and the fact that I'm on call this weekend. But for some reason, everything seems really magnified with frustration of not getting to spend enough time. I feel like sometimes with my family, putting so much into work. But, that's what you sign up for when you decide to become a doctor, and you have to put your job and your patients first above yourself and above your family. It's just definitely, there are times where it becomes rather exhausting. And I think the more I feel that way, the more tired I get, the less efficient I become. So I can't get my charts done, things done I gotta do in as timely of a fashion, which just, makes the whole situation worse, because then it backs up. I have more to do. Earlier I'm having to get up, less I'm sleeping, less time I can spend with my kids when I get home. But I do have some vacation time coming up this month, and I know I feel much better once I get through this weekend and into a little bit of time off. One of the main things right now that's made my life so much harder is during Hurricane Sally, a barge at the Pensacola Bay Bridge, and so it's closed. And so my wonderful 16-mile commute from Pensacola Beach into Pensacola, which took like maybe 25 minutes or less, has now turned into over 30-mile trip, which can take anywhere from an hour to an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours, just depending on the traffic of the day. It's very unpredictable. And so when you take an already very finite amount of time, carved out at home, and now I'm spending that in the car, that makes it so much worse. I did get a place to stay and rent a place to stay in course, that's real hard on the kids. They don't like me being away from home. I've been very fortunate that I've always been able to take home call. So they're not used to me being, staying in the hospital a day a week or something like that, like a lot of other docs have to do. Guys, my socks for today. I like to wear Disney socks every day if I can, if I'm not wearing my Derek Shepherd socks. These are my Happily Ever After socks. So we're going to try to start out with a positive outlook today. This is breakfast. This is all I really need to say about my week. It works for Nick Saban. I think for me, one of the most difficult things about being a mama doc is feeling like that I am adequately doing everything that I should be doing for both my job and my family. Some of the worst days can be when I feel like I have let my kids down, or I didn't get to go to something at school, or they send me messages saying they miss me and what time am I going to be home. Some of the best days are definitely when you come home, you open the door, and they are so excited to see you. And you try to make the most of every minute that you can spend with them. And I have to remind myself that I'm doing the best that I can. And if I let them know that I love them, that in the future that will mean more to them and they will remember that feeling more than the fact that I missed something at school or I didn't have time to sit down and play before I left. Also, the opportunity to spend time together and make any special memories, like when we go to Disney. And I think why I love Disney so much is that I can go there and completely escape. It's almost like an alternate universe or reality, and I just forget about work and I enjoy my kids and enjoy the time that we have together, and it is just so much fun. Some of the best days at work are when I get to see patients again after they've delivered. Either, I run into them somewhere, they bring their babies by, they send cards, pictures, texts. I love getting to see what the outcomes are, how they're doing, how the patient's doing, how their families are doing. And it just is very rewarding to get to see someone have a good outcome in what was probably going to be a very difficult time or scary time for them. Even out of the darkest days comes the light. And I try to start every day thinking, okay, today I've got another day to try to do better.